Hello, this is Dr. Jongwon, Jerry, Choi. I would like to introduce myself as a scholar, practitioner, and business consultant in the field of people and organization development and management. Personally, I started my professional career as a mechanical engineer at the Bosch, a German company, after completing my engineering master degree. I developed anti-lock brake systems and worked as a product and project manager for 7 years at the world-leading engineering company. I changed my career to business after completing 2 MBAs, one from Germany and the other from Korea, because technology itself cannot create innovation without understanding money and people. I worked as a business consultant in large companies and multiple startup companies. During my consulting experiences, I became increasingly curious about the quality of management and leadership. So, I went to the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign to focus on addressing the problem of quality people development, especially innovation leadership. Since then, my research inquiry has been, how can we get people to work by themselves for commercial and social innovation? Currently, I am working on transforming toxic organization to healthy organization to make people work better for innovation. HR/OB scholars and experts propose that we will have new challenges and transitions in the field. New behavior of employee. Technologies changes at the workplace. New generations come. Economic, social, and geographic mobility. Globalization and/or deglobalization. Finally, the health security issue we have been experiencing due to COVID-19 for the last 3 years is fundamentally changing the landscape of people development and management. Among the many changes, one emerging aspect that has received more attention after the pandemic has caught my interest. That is, toxic organization kills the best talent. Here are 2 cases who recently quit TikTok, one of the most popular and quickly growing social network service companies. First, Chloe. She quit her product manager job at TikTok in Silicon Valley, California, for several reasons. According to her, the company did not support her professional growth. The company had a toxic culture. The company disregarded diversity. She lost her physical, social, and mental health at the toxic organization. She reflected that she lost herself at the job and quit the TikTok job. Second, Jamie Lim, a former TikTok software engineer in Singapore, quit the TikTok job in 4 months. She worked at Google for more than 7 years and was one of the best software engineers at the company. She looked for growth opportunities at the quickly growing TikTok. However, she quit the job because of the toxic management of the company. She described that the company gave her unclear scope of work. The company used Lark as a working tool that did not fit with her. The company had totally unclear job descriptions and decision authorities. The company has bizarre culture that did not resonate with her value. Jamie, as a minority in the company, experienced a toxic organizational culture at TikTok, and she walked away from the company in 4 months. Like this, toxic organization is an emerging issue in the HR field. Unfortunately, the toxic organization, toxic people problem in the workplace occurs almost everywhere in the world, regardless of culture or business sectors. Tara West, a New York University professor, recently proposed the idea of jerks at work, toxic coworkers, and what to do about them at Harvard Business Review. In her article and book, she proposed 5 toxic people styles. Kiss up, kick down, credit stealer, bulldozer, micromanager, gaslighter. According to Professor West, toxic people create toxic organizational culture. A toxic organizational culture kills the best talent. However, why do people get toxic, and how does an organization get toxic? Are there any ways to avoid them? In order to identify the fundamental mechanisms and principles of toxic people, toxic organizations, to avoid them, Dr. Choi brought Lemmas and ideas. He defined his ideas as healing the organization, war for energy as capital. All photos and characters are made by Dr. Jerry Choi and are fully registered as intellectual property at an international NFT, blockchain system. Dr. Choi summarized and proposed 5 lemmas to explain the toxic people and toxic organization phenomena in the workplace. They are: people struggle for energy. Energy is capital. Capital is multidimensional. Becoming energy drain or energy source is habitual. Habit is constructing rather than constructed. James Redfield introduced the concept of energy war in his book Celestine Prophecy. Shortly speaking, individuals and institutions seek to control the energy of the physical, social, mental, and spiritual powers of others. This energy is often referred to as prana or chi, and it is believed to be the source of all life and consciousness. People believe that control the energy is essential for their power and wealth, and they try to maintain their dominance through several control strategies. Redfield suggested 4 energy vampire styles such as interrogate, intimidator, aloof, and poor me. However, Dr. Choi focused on tools and strategies for controlling energy. And he suggested 5 energy vampiring tools: torture needle, sledgehammer, frozen arrow, begging bowl, spider web. Each tool and strategy is used to stealing and hijacking energy from others. On the other hand, there is constructive energy creating strategies for healing and healthy relations and organizations. Rico, the psychologist and business consultant, proposed the 5 A's as tools for creating vitality at work. Attention, paying attention to one's thoughts, feelings, and actions, as well as to those of others. Acceptance, accepting oneself and others as they are, without judgment or criticism. Appreciation, appreciating the unique qualities and strengths of oneself and others. Affection, expressing and receiving love healthily and appropriately. Allowing oneself and others the freedom to be who they are and to make their own choices. More fundamentally, why people do struggle for energy. The answer could be, because energy is precious like money. So, we may think that energy is the capital. But what is the capital? Capital can refer to a variety of resources that are used to produce goods and services. In recent years, business scholars have proposed the concept of multiple capital theory. The multiple capital theory is a framework that proposes that organizations have multiple types of capital that they can draw upon to achieve their goals. This theory was developed in response to the limitations of the traditional view of capital regarding human development, environment, sustainability, and a holistic view of governance systems. Synthesizing previous terms and ideas, Dr. Choi proposed 7 types of multiple capitals: financial capital, organizational capital, social capital, human capital, psychological capital, physiological capital, spiritual capital. Therefore, we can understand that people struggle for energy as multiple capitals. Visiting the 2 cases of TikTok people who recently quit their job. They commonly pointed out the toxic organizational culture that drove them to leave the organization. Summarizing those toxic organizational cultures, Dr. Choi proposed 7 toxic management practices. They are: mediocre, bureaucracy, asymmetricity, nepotism, ignorance, meritocracy, disparity. On the other hand, 7 contrasting healthy and healing management practices were matched 1-to-1. They are: excellence, participation, transparency, competency, active listening, all-level people development, inclusion. Choosing the toxic management practice on the energy drain side or the healing management practice on the energy source side is habitual by the leadership. According to the habitual choice of the leader's toxic or healing management practices, people transformed into energy vampires or vitality agents to steal or create multiple organizational capitals. So, Creating or transforming an organization as a toxic one or a healing one is highly dependent on the quality of people, especially the leadership. If a business organization wants to transform its culture into a healthy and healing one, the organizational leadership should reflect their habitual choices in their managerial practices. And the leadership should give more attention to the dynamics of the energy war between people. Thank you for listening.